The limited or no connectivity alert usually appears when your Windows-based computer is not receiving incoming signals from the network. This means that you cannot access the internet or other network resources. It could be because of your computer, the internet service provider ISP, or other network issues. Failure to boot. A boot missing or boot failed error is a Windows startup error that appears when a PC or laptop fails to find or load the Windows boot files. This occurs when something goes wrong with the system, software, or hardware, but often it's the corrupt and damaged boot sector or failed system drive. When a PC is booting, the BIOS tries to find a operating system on a hard drive to boot from. However, if this is unable to find one, then an operating system not found error is displayed. It may cause by an error in BIOS configuration, a faulty hard drive, or a damaged master boot record. In computing, a crash or system crash occurs when a computer program such as software application or an operating system stops functioning properly and exits. The blue screen happens when Windows encounters a critical error that stops the operating system from running. These critical errors can be result of faulty hardwares, faulty or low-level hardware drivers, or faulty or low-level apps that run within the Windows kernel. The Windows black screen, often called the black screen of death, is a critical Windows system error that your computer displays when a major problem forces the operating system to shut down. What causes printing issues? Most printers will stop working when they're out of paper, ink, or toner, or if the unit detects an issue with the ink or toner cartridge. When this occurs, you might receive an error message or notice blinking green or amber lights on your printer. Programs that are loaded as the computer startup remains active in memory. Consequently, they are one of the main causes of a slow boot into Windows. Disabling program you don't often use from automatically loading up each time the computer powers on can decrease boot time and slow up the boot startup. What causes slow loading on PC? Your PC takes so long to load may result from programs running in the background, too many temporary files are stored on the hard drive, bad corrupt or fragment hard drive. Microsoft Drive Optimizer is a utility in Microsoft Windows designed to increase data access speed by rearranging files stored on a disk to occupy contiguous storage locations, a technique called defragmentation. Reboot is the process of closing and starting a computer or its operating system from the initial boot loading sequence. This process reloads the operating system files and is used to fix many common computer problems such as slow processing or freezing. Reboot is also known as restart. Kill task or kill tool command line options. This option is required to terminate a protected process such as a system service. PID specifics the process identifier PID of the task to be terminated. The restart service CMDLET sends a stop message and then a start message to the Windows Server controller for a specified services. If a service was already stopped, it is started without notifying you of an error. A reimage is the process of installing new operating system on a machine. This process includes wiping or clearing the hard drive entirely and installing a fresh operating system. When the reimage is complete, it is almost like getting a brand new machine. The rollback driver feature is used to uninstall the current driver for a hardware device and then automatically install the previously installed driver. The most common reason to use the rollback drive feature is to reverse a driver update that didn't go well. Rollback describes the process of returning a hardware product or software program back to an earlier version after encountering issues with a later version. What does disabling a service do? Disabling a service means it will not start at boot, but can be started manually or as a dependency of another service. Enabling or disabling a running service does not automatically change its current state. If it is running, it will continue to run, and if it's not running, it will stop. So what does changing the boot order do? By changing the boot order, you can force your computer to boot from a CD/DVD drive, a floppy drive, a USB drive, or even off the network. PC repair tools are softwares that aid in tuning your operating system by targeting specific issues it may encounter and neutralize these issues to restore or improve the PC's overall user experience. A pop-up is a graphical user interface, also known as GUI, display area, usually a small window that suddenly appears, pops up in the foreground of a visual interface. Safe mode starts Windows in a basic state using a limited set of files and drivers. If a problem doesn't happen in safe mode, this means that default settings and basic device drivers aren't causing the issue. In Windows 8 and 10, the Task Manager has a Startup tab to manage which applications run on startup. On most Windows computer, you can access the Task Manager by pressing Ctrl-Shift-Escape, then clicking the Startup tab. Select any program in the list and click the Disable button if you don't want to run on a startup. Internet connectivity issue can be caused by corrupted Windows operating files. Try running the system file checker first to see if anything comes up. You can also perform a system restore to replace the corrupt file with clean ones and then check your internet connection again. Security alerts are automatic notifications sent to help you stay aware of changes and to stop potential frauds. On a website, redirection is a technique for moving visitors to a different web page than the one they request, usually because the page requested is unavailable. What causes computer lockups? Typically, it will be a software-related issue on your computer that has too many programs operating at once, causing it to freeze. A crash is when a software program stops working and then closes. When this occurs, Windows usually create an entry in the event log to help diagnose the problem. Spam is digital junk mail and unsolicited communication sent in bulk through an electronic messaging system. Rogue antivirus software is a type of malware that pretends to have found an infection on the victim's computer. In some cases, the cybercriminal's objective may only be a scare to the victim. What causes Windows Update failure? A common cause of errors is inadequate drive space. If you need help freeing up drive space, see tips to free up drive space on your PC. The steps in the guided walkthrough should help with all Windows Update errors and other issues. You don't need to search for the specific error to solve it. Files can disappear when the properties are set to hidden, and File Explorer is not configured to show hidden files. Computer users, programs, and malwares can edit file properties and set them to hidden to give the illusion that the files don't exist and prevent you from editing the files. In computing, rename refers to the altering of a name of a file. This can be done manually by using a shell command such as ren or mv or by using batch renaming softwares that can automate the renaming process. Email hijacking is usually staged through phishing and other social engineering scams, in which attackers deceive victims into revealing their credentials by directing them to bogus logins page or tricking them into installing a keylogger malware, which records the victim's keystrokes and sends it to the remote server. Access denied error message can occur for one or two following reasons. The following ownership has changed. You do not have the appropriate permission. The file is encrypted. Email messages containing unknown subjects from unknown senders are known as spam. Your email service spam filters usually remove such messages from your inbox automatically, but sometimes the messages slip through. Use automated replies wherever you want to let people who send you emails know that you won't be responding to their message right away. After automated replies are turned on, they'll be sent once to each sender. An SSL certificate error occurs when a web browser can't verify the SSL certificate installed on a site. Rather than connect users to your website, the browsers will display an error message warning users that the site may be insecure. The System Restore option in Windows allows users to restore the system to its previous working state should it crash or malfunction. However, in some cases you may be required to disable the System Restore option, for example, to delete infected files defected by products in the Restore folder. Quarantine is a technique used by the antivirus and anti-malware software to isolate infected files on a computer. Files identified by this software can include viruses and worms, as well as system files that have been infected. How can malware be identified? Antivirus. Using updated antivirus program to scan files within a forensic duplicate of a compromised system may identify known malware. To increase the chances of detecting malware, multiple antivirus programs can be used with any heuristic capabilities enabled. How do you schedule antivirus scans in a computer? In the top center pane, double-click Windows Defender Scheduled Scan. In the Windows Defender Scheduled Scan properties, Local Computer Windows, select the Trigger tab, go to the bottom of the Windows, and then select New. Specify how often you want scans to run and when you'd like to run them. Safe mode starts Windows in a basic state, using a limited set of files and drivers. If a problem doesn't happen in safe mode, this means that default settings and basic device drivers aren't causing the issue. Wireless devices intermittent disconnect from the wireless networks, while wireless devices are still connected and working okay. Things to keep in mind: the farther away from the router you go, the weaker the wireless signal will be. Denotes the reduced display brightness level. The dim idle timeout has been reached. This setting applies only to portable computers that support Windows control of the brightness level of the integrated display device. What is the end user education? End user education is building awareness among employees by equipping them with the necessary tools and skills required to protect themselves and the company data from the loss or attack. So what happens if you do a system restore? System restore takes a snapshot of the some system files and Windows registry and save them as restore points. When an install failure or data corruption occurs, System Restore can return a system to working condition without you having to reinstall the operating system. What if there is no Bluetooth connectivity? If you don't see Bluetooth, select Expand to reveal Bluetooth, then select Bluetooth to turn it on. You'll see Not Connected if the Windows 10 device isn't paired to any Bluetooth accessories. Why are apps not loading on your computer? Make sure apps are up to date. Make sure you're using the latest version of Windows 10. Reinstall the apps that can't open. Reset Windows Store cache. Restart your computer. Make sure your screen is clean and free of any debris or water. Disconnect any lighting or USB accessories. If your screen works after removing any accessories, try a different output cable or charger. Turn the computer off and on to refresh the connection. Use the monitor's built-in control and select the correct input port. Check the signal cable connection between the monitor and the graphics card. Disconnect the signal cable from both ends. Wait 60 seconds and firmly reconnect it. With the screen at maximum brightness and the processor set to operate at full power, your battery life consumption rate rises and single charge rates for shorter amounts of time. What does it mean to decrypt an email? The conversion of encrypted data into original form is called decryption. It is generally a reverse process of encryption. It decodes the encrypted information so that an authorized user can only decrypt the data because decryption requires a secret key or password. A slow computer is often caused by too many programs running simultaneously, taking up processing powers and reducing the PC performance. Some programs will continue running in the background event after you have closed them or will start automatically when you boot up your computer. The best way to restart a frozen computer is to hold the power button down to 5 to 10 seconds. This will allow your computer to restart safely without description of a total power loss. Make sure to disconnect any headphones or extra cords, as these items can cause glitches as your computer restarts. Computer overheating is usually caused by multiple factors. Dust, if left to build up over time, can block the fans and cause the CPU or GPU to overheat. Too many applications running at the same time can cause the fan to go into overdrive, and if this happens too many times, the fan might stop working. Reboot your PC. However, it is often one of the most successful ways to fix an unresponsive touchscreen on PC. Restarting your PC shuts down and refreshes all background services which could have crashed and led to your issue. Check to make sure your audio device aren't muted and haven't been disabled. Select and hold or right-click the speaker icon on the taskbar and then select Open Volume Mixer. Note, if you don't see speakers displayed, it may be in the overflow area. Select Show Hidden Icons to check there. The Wi-Fi card is loosely connected to your PC, or if there's dust accumulated on the card and connecting ports, it can lead to a weak Wi-Fi signal. Try to reconnect the Wi-Fi card to see if that works. An old Wi-Fi card could also be the reason why your PC is not getting enough Wi-Fi signals. An app log error is a file that contains detailed records of error conditions a computer software encounters while it's running. A lockout protects a file on a network database from being attacked by more than one person by denying or delaying the second-party access. Spyware and viruses can definitely cause problems, but your internet connection speed can also be affected by add-on programs. The amount of memory the computer has, hard disk space and conditions, and the programs that are running. Two of the most frequent causes of poor internet performance are spywares and viruses. How to power drain the desktop computer. Press and hold the power button for 20 seconds and then release it to drain the free power, static electricity. Reconnect all cables back again and turn on your computer. Unauthorized access is when a person gains entry to a computer network, system, application software, data, or other resources without permission. Data transmission is a transfer of data from the digital device to another.